Imagine this. You're standing in your garage, surrounded by years of accumulated items. The sun is shining brightly outside and you can hear the birds chirping. It's the perfect day to finally tackle that long-overdue cleaning project. You're cleaning out your garage, sorting through old boxes and reminiscing about forgotten memories. You find old tools, holiday decorations, and even that bike you promised to fix years ago. It's a beautiful spring day, the kind that makes you feel alive and motivated. The air is fresh and the scent of blooming flowers fills your senses. You feel a sense of accomplishment as you make progress. You're excited to get started on your yard work. You gather your gardening tools, put on your gloves, and step outside, ready to transform your garden into a paradise. But then, as you move a box, you find a mouse nest in the corner. It's a small, seemingly harmless discovery. You see tiny droppings and bits of shredded paper. You don't think much of it and sweep it up, disposing of the nest without a second thought. After all, it's just a mouse nest, right? You continue with your day, feeling satisfied with your progress. A few weeks later, you feel sick. It starts with a mild headache and a sense of fatigue. You think it's just a cold or maybe the flu. You have a fever, chills, and a headache. The symptoms are persistent, and you start to feel worse each day. You take some over-the-counter medicine and hope it will pass. You brush it off as the flu, but it gets worse. Your cough becomes more severe, and you find it increasingly difficult to breathe. You wonder if it's something more serious. You develop a cough and have trouble breathing. Each breath feels like a struggle, and you start to worry. You decide it's time to see a doctor. This, my friends, could be Hantavirus. The virus that killed Betsy Arakawa, the wife of Hackman, is a relatively rare but devastating threat without a vaccine, treatment, or cure. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS, is a rare but serious respiratory disease. It's not something most people think about, but it's a real threat. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS, is a rare but serious respiratory disease. It can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. It's caused by a virus carried by rodents. These tiny creatures can seem harmless, but they can carry dangerous pathogens. Mice are the main culprits, but other rodents can carry it too. Rats, voles, and other small mammals can also be carriers of the virus. The virus is found in their droppings, urine, and saliva. When these materials dry and become airborne, they can be inhaled, leading to infection. Don't worry, you can't get it from a person with HPS. The virus doesn't spread from person to person, so there's no need to fear human contact. However, it's crucial to be aware of the risks and take precautions when dealing with rodent infestations. Always wear protective gear and ensure proper ventilation when cleaning areas that may be contaminated. Remember, a seemingly harmless mouse nest could be hiding a silent threat. Stay informed, stay safe, and protect yourself and your loved ones from hantavirus. Hantavirus is a tricky enemy. It's a virus that can cause severe respiratory illness in humans, and it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. This makes it particularly dangerous because it can spread without people even realizing they are at risk. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it. Unlike other threats that might give off a warning sign, hantavirus remains invisible to our senses. This makes it incredibly stealthy and difficult to detect in everyday environments. It hides in dust and dirt, waiting for its chance to strike. These tiny particles can linger in the air, especially in places that are not regularly cleaned or are prone to dust accumulation. When disturbed, they can easily become airborne. You might not even know you've been exposed until it's too late. Symptoms can take 1 to 5 weeks to appear, and by then the virus may have already caused significant damage to your lungs and other organs. That's why it's important to be aware of the risks and take steps to protect yourself. Simple measures like wearing protective gear when cleaning areas that might be contaminated can make a big difference. Remember, this virus is spread through the air. It doesn't require direct contact with an infected animal to pose a threat. When rodent droppings or urine are stirred up, tiny particles containing the virus can become airborne. This can happen during cleaning, moving furniture, or even just walking through an area where rodents have been active. You can breathe them in without even realizing it. Once inhaled, the virus can quickly make its way into your respiratory system, leading to serious health issues. This is why it's crucial to avoid sweeping or vacuuming areas where rodents may have been active. Instead, use a damp cloth or mop to clean these areas, as this can help to minimize the risk of stirring up contaminated dust. Additionally, taking steps to prevent rodents from entering your home in the first place is essential. Seal up any holes or gaps where they might get in, and use traps to catch any that do manage to find their way inside. If you do start to feel unwell and suspect you might have been exposed to Hantavirus, seek medical attention immediately. Early diagnosis and treatment can be critical in managing the illness and improving outcomes. Regular hand washing and using hand sanitizer can also help reduce the risk of infection. Always wash your hands after handling items that might be contaminated or after cleaning potentially affected areas. Educating yourself and others about hantavirus is another key step in prevention. The more people know about the risks and how to protect themselves, the better we can collectively reduce the spread of this hidden enemy. Hantavirus can be hard to diagnose at first. Its early symptoms mimic the flu. You might experience fever, chills, muscle aches, and headaches. You might also feel nauseous, vomit, or have diarrhea. These symptoms usually appear within 1 to 5 weeks after exposure. If you experience these symptoms and have been in contact with rodents or their droppings, see a doctor right away. Early diagnosis and treatment are crucial for battling this disease. We've talked about how breathing in the virus is the most common way to get infected, but there are other ways too. Touching your eyes, nose, or mouth after handling contaminated materials can also spread the virus. And while rare, it's possible to get infected through a bite from an infected rodent. Remember, these critters are cute but can carry dangerous diseases. Always be cautious around them and their habitats. Who is at risk? Anyone can get hantavirus, but some people are more at risk than others. This virus is primarily spread by rodents, particularly deer mice, which are common in many parts of the world. When these rodents shed the virus through their saliva, urine, or droppings, it can become airborne and infect humans who breathe it in. People who live in rural areas or spend time outdoors are more likely to encounter infected rodents. Activities such as camping, hiking, or even having a picnic in a rural park can increase your chances of coming into contact with the virus. Farmers, construction workers, and campers are also at higher risk. These individuals often work in environments where they might disturb rodent nests or come into contact with rodent droppings. For example, cleaning out barns, working on construction sites, or setting up camp in the wilderness can all be risky activities if proper precautions are not taken. Remember, even if you live in a city, you're not completely safe. Urban areas can also harbor rodents, and activities such as gardening or spending time in city parks can expose you to the virus. Rodents can be found everywhere, from parks and gardens to basements and attics. They are highly adaptable creatures and can thrive in a variety of environments, making it important for everyone, regardless of where they live, to be aware of the risks. Always be vigilant and take precautions to prevent rodent infestations. Simple measures such as sealing cracks in your home, setting up mouse traps, and using rodent repellent sprays can go a long way in keeping these pests at bay. By staying informed and proactive, you can significantly reduce your risk of contracting hantavirus. Complications. A matter of life and breath. Hantavirus can be a serious disease. In severe cases, it can lead to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS. HPS is a life-threatening condition that causes the lungs to fill with fluid, making it difficult to breathe. If you experience worsening symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, or dizziness, seek immediate medical attention. Time is of the essence when it comes to treating HPS. Prevention is key. The good news is hantavirus is preventable. By taking some simple precautions, you can significantly reduce your risk of infection. The most important thing is to keep rodents out of your home and workspaces. Seal up any cracks or holes in your foundation, walls, and roof. Store food in airtight containers and keep your living spaces clean and clutter-free. Remember, rodents are attracted to food, water, and shelter. When in doubt, seek help. If you think you've been exposed to hantavirus or are experiencing symptoms, don't wait. Contact your doctor immediately. Early diagnosis and treatment can make a big difference in the outcome of the disease. Remember, it's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to your health. Don't hesitate to seek medical advice if you have any concerns. Stay informed and stay safe. Hantavirus is a serious threat, but it's one we can manage with knowledge and awareness. By understanding the risks, taking preventive measures, and seeking prompt medical attention when needed, we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from this hidden enemy. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about Hantavirus, the better equipped you'll be to stay safe and healthy. Thank you for watching and subscribe to Conrad's Brain Candy. We appreciate your support and we'll catch you in our next video.